Alright, here we are. We're back, and in this tutorial I want to talk about ray tracing shadows. So far we've have taken our lights and we've gone down and looked at depth map shadows, and we've seen how you can change the resolution. I'm going to go back to 512. But now if you keep going, we're in the shadows section, down here to Raytrace Shadows. So we turn on Raytrace Shadows and it automatically will turn off depth map. You can't have both. So let's render our scene. First let's see what our last render was. And now let's see what Raytrace does. Well, what do you know? We turned on Raytrace Shadows and now we don't see anything. That doesn't make sense. Well, ray tracing is an advanced technique that adds a level of processing to your scene, and you have to turn ray tracing on manually. And a lot of the renderers support it. My software does support ray tracing. That's the renderer we're using. To get to the ray tracing box, you have to go into your render settings, and whatever renderer you're using, its tab and its attributes are going to be here. And software is kind of the Maya default. We go here and we go down to ray tracing, and we click ray tracing, and that will turn on ray tracing, which will now allow us to begin to see our ray trace shadows. But if you notice something else is going on. What is this? And what is that? Well, ray tracing also supports reflections. So if we have any objects that were blends or materials that support reflections, you'll begin to see reflections when you turn on ray tracing. Notice the matte material does not have the reflections going on. That's your Lambert, but your blend material does. So ray tracing opens up doors. It opens up higher quality shadows. It opens up soft shadows. It opens up the door for reflections and refractions and transparent shadows and a lot of neat things like that. But you have to turn it on first. So you have to go to, again, that was Maya software tab, or this is render settings, software tab, ray tracing. While we're here, I did put up a few videos on the site for you guys to take a look. And if you look, it showed you how each render will have a quality setting. So when you're rendering things out, at what quality are you rendering? That's there to save you time. When you're placing lights, you may not need to see the highest quality, fullest quality. You're just getting an idea of what your snow texture looks like, or your lighting shadows, where are they. But as you get more and more, as you get toward the end of your project, you'll want to see a higher detail. The thing is, the higher the detail, the longer it takes to process. And your renderer times now, as I do a render, it may take, and it tells me here, rendering, that took 8 seconds. And I have ray trace shadows and things. So if I go down and I turn ray tracing off and render, you see that was 1 second. So you see how every time you add a layer of complexity, your render times go up. And so that's why you want to do as much as you can under your low quality settings, and then we can go and pump these things up. We can go to production quality. So I can click on ray tracing, go from low quality to production quality, and it turned up my reflections, my rays for reflections, refractions, and shadows. And our last render was 8 seconds. So this one, it will be, I'm guessing, probably around 15. But you notice how these are very smooth shadows now. the reflections are higher quality, and that took 16 seconds, twice as much time. So as you're tweaking, I would keep things, until you're ready to work on shadows. I would keep ray tracing off. Until you're ready, I would just stay here at low quality and get your 1 second renders, and then when you're toward the end of your project, start pumping that up.